Someday, this will pay off.
Every extra rep.
Every extra
Every
rep.
morning workout. Every goal you meet.
Every morning workout.
Every goal you meet.
Every day when you're tired.
Every
fourth down.
Every play.
Every play. Every single play.
Someday this will pay off.
Someday this will pay off.
This will pay off.
From the first time I ever laced up the pads, the first time I ever walked down that tunnel.
Every day you're tired.
Every goal you meet.
Every hour of film.
Someday this will pay off. Every day your muscles ache, every ounce of sweat.
Someday this will pay off.
That's what gets you through.
That's what I keep telling myself.
Knowing that it will pay off. Someday you'll have a chance at your dream.
Every time you push yourself beyond what you thought you could do.
That's what I keep telling myself.
It is a glorious weather night in Miami, and we welcome you to sold-out Dolphin Stadium, where after a lengthy and exciting undercard, it's time for college football's main event. It's the FedEx BCS National Championship game as number 1 Oklahoma collides with number 2 Florida. And a pleasant good evening to you. I'm Tom Brenneman. Welcome to the FedEx BCS National Championship game here on Fox. Well, in this matchup, what more could you ask for? Both coaches have won a national championship. We have the last 2 Heisman Trophy winners playing quarterback. A Florida offense which averages better than 45 points per game. An Oklahoma offense which set an NCAA record by scoring better than 700 points on the year. Which school tonight will be crowned national champions of college football? It's a pleasure to be joined in the broadcast booth by the former Tennessee Volunteer, Charles Davis. And, well, Mr. Davis, I defer to you as to where we begin with so much going on here tonight.
Well, let's start with the big guys. Let's start with the Heisman Trophy winners. Florida's Tim Tebow, the single greatest force at quarterback in college football. He runs it, he throws it, he wills his team to victory. On the flip side, Sam Bradford's a little more laid back, but he spurred his team to an average of 54 points per ball game. Super Sam beat Superman for the Heisman Trophy. Can he do it a second time tonight?
If you believe in the old adage about football, the defense wins championships, which team comes out on top, at least going into the game tonight?
Well, statistically, it's Florida, the 5th best scoring defense in the country. They're going to try and pressure Sam Bradford in the pocket and try and disrupt his rhythm in the passing game. For Oklahoma, they're wondering how a team that's forced 32 turnovers on the year can be so heavily criticized, which leads us to the big question of the night. Which defense can spur turnovers and force them against the 2 best offenses in the country at taking care of the football?
And we welcome the champions of the Southeastern Conference, 12-1 on the season, the University of Florida Gators. A pleasure to be joined by the 3rd member of our broadcast team here tonight. Let's check in with Chris Myers.
Tom, it's loud down here. It sounds pro Gators. Urban, I hope you can hear me. 2 years ago this very night, you were the underdog and shocked the world to be the champion against Ohio State. Tonight, the country expects you to win. So what did you tell your team?
No, that doesn't matter. It didn't matter 2 years ago. It doesn't matter now. We've executed. We prepared real well. The whole key tonight's going to be play as hard as you can. Play as hard as you can.
Percy Harvin, how much can you expect on him tonight?
Oh, he's good. He's good. He warmed up good. He's in there bouncing around. We're going to play. He'll be fine.
All right, have fun. We'll be watching.
Good to see you.
Thanks, Urban. Tommy?
Urban Meyer, 44 years old in his 4th season as head man of the Gators, and his opponent tonight, the University out of Oklahoma, Norman, Oklahoma, the champions of the Big 12 Conference, the top-ranked Sooners. Oklahoma started the year 5-0, moved up to a number 1 ranking by mid-October. Lost to Texas 45-35, then ripped off 7 consecutive wins. In their last 5 games, they scored better than 60 points per game. with so much history and tradition from these two programs, the University of Florida and Oklahoma University. It's hard to believe tonight is the first time they have ever gathered on the same playing field. Waiting back for Oklahoma, number 9, Joaquin Iglesias, along with 17, Moses Madu. And set to put a foot on it, Caleb Sturgis of Florida. And the FedEx BCS National Championship game is underway. And this is Joaquin Iglesias. And he is stopped at the 23-yard line. To introduce you Oklahoma offensively, Sam Bradford, the Heisman Trophy winner, has been the epitome of consistency since taking over as a redshirt freshman last year. In 27 career starts, has thrown for 84 touchdown passes. So many weapons, an outstanding offensive line led by the left side, a pair of All-Americans, and they play hurry-up mode. This is Chris Brown, and he's met by Brandon Spikes, a first-team All-American middle linebacker of the Gators. Up front for Florida, a very active bunch, led by Jermaine Cunningham. Linebacking core, we mentioned Hicks, along with Stamper, Spikes in the middle, a first-team All-American. A lot of talking, especially from number 5, Joe Hayden, about this Oklahoma offense. Bradford throws, and Manuel Johnson makes the reception for a first down to the 37-yard line.
We've seen the best of both already, Tom. First down, Florida wins the battle, makes it 2nd and long. Oklahoma comes right back and picks up a first down.
Bradford, not a body within 10 yards, lofting down the sideline for Johnson, and he is leveled by Major Wright.
Manny Johnson beating Hayden, but look at Major Wright going right through the wide receiver and getting the first big breakup of the game. Well played, the safety coming off the hash and helping his corner in 2 deep coverage.
2nd down and 10, and they run the reverse, handing it off to Ryan Broyles, and read beautifully by the Florida defense. Oklahoma going to this hurry-up offense prior to the fall practice. They run roughly 80 plays on offense per game. You saw the NCAA Division I-A average right around 60.
They peeled off 97 at Kansas this year. But Sam Bradford getting the call from the sideline. Is it a check, or are they going with what's called? Florida trying to do a little cat and mouse and change their look on the defensive side.
Blitz coming. They pick it up. Bradford threads the needle, caught by Iglesias, and that is a Sooner first down to the 37.
Despite the early pressure by Florida trying to get to Sam Bradford, his offensive front is giving him plenty of time to deliver, and there's no more accurate quarterback than Bradford throwing the ball.
Bradford looking down the sideline for Iglesias and overthrew him. Well, at least on this opening possession, much has been made as to whether Florida can apply heavy pressure to Bradford. None so far.
So far, none. But it's a 4-quarter game, as we well know. Don't expect Florida to back off because they haven't had early success. They will continue to try and disrupt Sam Bradford with pressure. Again, the look to the sideline. Do we play the play called, or is there a change? That comes from the top from Kevin Wilson, the offensive coordinator.
Second down, they play fake it to Brown, and Bradford in trouble, and down he goes. You just said it. You play 4 quarters.
You're not going to back off because you didn't get anything early. As we look at Oklahoma, the play clock about how long it takes them to snap the football. Ball set. They're going to snap it probably around 25 to 30, which is a little bit longer than normal for them. But the last sack caused by defensive coverage in the secondary.
Be a 3rd and 24. They need to get to the 28. Bradford being chased, completes a pass, but far short of the first down to Madu. And Oklahoma stopped on its opening drive of the night.
And Charlie Strong, the defensive coordinator for Florida, changed up on 3rd down. This time they rushed 3, and Justin Trato comes through and puts pressure on Bradford. Rushed 3, dropped 8, took away all the passing lanes, and still got pressure on Sam Bradford. A great defensive series to start for Florida.
8 blocked kicked this season for the Gators. Nat'l puts a foot on it, and it rolls into the end zone. So now it's time for the Gators on offense.
Now it's time for the Dodge keys to the game for Florida. Pressures quarterback Sam Bradford. They did that on the last 2 snaps in control field position. For Oklahoma, they have to stop Florida's running game, and they need to pass protect for Sam Bradford. They did it early, but not the last 2 snaps.
So now one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in the history of college football, Tim Tebow at quarterback. On first down, it's dropped. His first pass attempt to the true freshman, Jeffrey Demps. Tebow, of course, a Heisman Trophy winner a season ago. In 40 career games, 65 touchdown passes. Wow. Weapons all over the field, including the big tight end, Aaron Hernandez. And up front, the Ponce twins at center and right guard. Jim Tart will start but play very little at left guard due to an injured shoulder. We'll see Carl Johnson there most of the night. Percy Harvin, they fake it to him. Tebow on the keeper, and read well by the Sooners defensively. Mike Balogun getting his 2nd career start here tonight at linebacker. This has been a maligned Sooners defense, ranking 65th in total defense on the year. What a fabulous freshman season for Travis Lewis. Broke all of Brian Bosworth's tackle records as a freshman. Dominique Franks said leading up to the game, Tim Tebow would be the 4th best quarterback in the Big 12. Whoa, those are fighting words.
So he better be ready to go tonight.
Tebow on 3rd and 8 to Harvin, and that will be good enough for a first down and more. Harvin injured the right ankle against Florida State. Did not play in the SEC championship game, and for more on him, here's Chris Meyer.
Well, Tom, Percy Harvin said he had no problem running straight all day, but when he cuts to one side, there's pain. They gave him some painkillers before the game. He told offensive coordinator Dan Mullen, I can handle 15 to 20 touches. Keeping him loose and warm throughout the game is the concern, but they will monitor his high ankle sprain throughout. So far, he looks good.
They hand it off to Jeffrey Demps. And he maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Jeffrey Demps, dubbed the fastest teenager in America by the nation's track community, nearly qualified for the United States Olympic team in the 100-meter dash, clocked at 10.01. Wow.
That tied a world junior record. It's phenomenal. And remember, he's a football player running track, not a track guy trying to play football. And there is a difference.
Tebow with room. And lowers his shoulder close to a first down. The passion, the fire of Tim Tebow, who is the unquestioned greatest leader in college football today. What an unbelievable player and an even more impressive young man.
And that play wasn't just a first down run. That's an energy play for Florida, because the fans of Florida love to see number 15 in the open field. And as you described, when he lowered the shoulder and ran over the D-back for an additional couple of yards for the first down, that's Florida Gator football, and it brings the crowd into it for them.
You called it play action, and Tebow just unloads as he is thrown to the depth by Gerald McCoy and Mike Balogun. McCoy named by the Dallas Morning News as the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. Last year, the Defensive Freshman of the Year.
Now, that great strategy by Florida goes awry because of a great play by McCoy, number 93. Just beats his man up front and gets into the face of Tebow, not allowing him to step into the throw, because there were guys open downfield, but he couldn't get it to them.
2nd down and 10. Tebow on the option, pitches inside to Aaron Hernandez. Pretty nifty pickup right there to the tight end. And let's check in again with Chris Meyer.
Well, Tommy, you're talking about defense. You know, both of the team buses for the Gators and the Sooners were delayed in traffic, late getting to the stadium. But Bob Stoops was the first person out actually on the field once they arrived. He sat down on the bench, smiled, said, hey, this is the place where we won the 2000 National Championship for Oklahoma. And then he looked around and said, is anybody talking about defense? And so far, that's what we're seeing. Maybe only South Florida traffic can slow down these two teams.
He should spend time with us, Chris. We've been talking about it for a while.
Third down and a little longer than 3, and Hernandez inside the 25.
Mike Balogun, number 10 for Oklahoma, getting his 2nd start in the middle. Now watch Hernandez, crossing route. That's going to get him. He comes right across the face of number 10. Look for Florida to continue to try to exploit Balogun in coverage. That's Mike Balogun right there, the middle linebacker. Just his 2nd start as an Oklahoma Sooner. This has been a very disjointed game so far, hasn't it?
So after 15 minutes of football, the Gators average 45. The Sooners average almost 55. And we are scoreless in Miami. A scoreless opening quarter in the FedEx BCS National Championship game. But Florida knocking on the door. 1st and 15 at the Oklahoma 26-yard line. They're coming after Tebow, and the ball tipped into the air as he took a shot from Travis Lewis. Incomplete.
Looked like they overloaded him to the left side of the screen. Watch over here. Watch number 28, Travis Lewis. Recruited as a running back and then turned into a safety before they moved him to outside linebacker. He uses his speed to come off the corner, and because they overloaded the line, no one was there to block him, and he hits Tim Tebow and causes the incompletion.
Blitz coming again. Tebow steps out of the major trouble and picks up a yard. Tack on 5 more beyond that, a gain of 6 in the opening quarter. I mean, these two teams had pretty much run everybody out of the gym.
I picked up the phone today and talked to a Division 1A coach whose team is finishing in the top 15 in the country this year, and he said one big key: both teams have to survive the first quarter because the rush comes at you, the onslaught. Both teams did that.
3rd down and 9 for the Gators. Tebow looking around, still looking, throws, caught. And is it a touchdown or is the ball loose? It is a touchdown. The senior out of St. Petersburg, Lewis Murphy, his 7th touchdown reception.
Oklahoma came with a zone blitz and dropped the All-American Gerald McCoy out of the line of scrimmage when they didn't get to Tebow. And it certainly looks like it's going to be a touchdown. He crossed the plane before the ball popped out of his hand.
Questionable.
But when McCoy dropped down, tried to cover, unable to do so, Tebow bought time.
Jonathan Phillips tacks on the point after. For the senior, Lewis Murphy, the Gators' leading receiver on the year with the game's first score. 12 plays, 86 yards for Tebow and company. Capped off on a 20-yard touchdown strike to Lewis Murphy. Joaquin Iglesias from the 7. And he's all the way out to the 35-yard line.
Goal line, watch his hand cross with the ball, cross the plane to the goal line before it bounces out. Once it crosses the plane, touchdown. Talked with Dave Perry, director of officials, up here in the booth with us. He confirmed an excellent call.
Chris Brown with some daylight, and his first pickup of the night, a big one. A gain of 16 on the carry by Brown. So Brown, the man on the main stage again, as he was in 06 when he replaced Adrian Peterson and Alan Patrick.
Watch the left side of the offensive line by Oklahoma. They talk all the time about Oklahoma pass protecting. There they are, chopping a hole in the Florida defense in the run game.
Patrick, another big gainer. And all the way down to the 34-yard line, it's Chris Brown, the leading rusher this season, despite only starting one game. DeMarco Murray was their regular starter, both carrying for over 1,000 yards.
And notice the tempo of Oklahoma now, a lot quicker on this drive. The first 2 plays were bang, bang right at Florida. Now they're back looking at the sideline again. I think Florida likes it when they spend a lot of time looking at the sideline. It helps them settle.
They've got that lead blocker now in there. Brody Eldridge and Brown to the open field. 3 straight carries and 3 big ones for the Sooners.
Tom, you know what helped transform the season for Oklahoma? The loss to Texas. And Brody Eldridge is one of the better blockers in the nation, the best one for Oklahoma. He's playing fullback now. But the loss to Texas, they said they had to run it more.
Bradford caught by Cheney down to the 7. Another Oklahoma first down.
Tom, again, the tempo is picked up for Oklahoma. Straight away, getting right at Florida. And this is the tempo Oklahoma likes to play, putting Florida on their heels a bit. But this drive's all about the offensive line for Oklahoma right now.
Again, Eldridge lined up in the I formation. The lead blocker this time for Madu. And he stopped for a gain of 1. Ryan Stamper, the junior out of Jacksonville, on the tackle.
I go back to the Texas game, Tom. Oklahoma only ran it for 48 yards in that game. The offensive line went to Kevin Wilson and said, hey, we got to start mauling some people. We got to start firing out. And they started doing that. And the offense really picked up the pace from that point forward.
2 tight ends in the game, Gresham, Mann, Eldridge. And Bradford out of the shotgun on 2nd and goal. Fake it to Cheney, Bradford to the end zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma's Jermaine Gresham. No scoring in the first 15 minutes. In 3 minutes and 11 seconds, we have 14 on the board. Point after by the redshirt freshman Jimmy Stevens is good. Jermaine Gresham, his 4th touchdown reception in the last 4 games.
About that last drive by the Sooners. All about tempo, execution, clean, no penalties. And the offensive line, the 1-5 as they call themselves. 5 guys playing as one unit.
Matthew Moreland to kick it away. Brandon James from the 3. Excellent kickoff coverage by Oklahoma. That has not been the case through most of this entire season. Florida won its first 3 games this season, including victories over Miami and Tennessee. Then the final weekend of September, stunned in the swamp by Ole Miss. A game which they lost 3 fumbles. Tim Tebow sacked 3 times. And only rushed for 124 yards in that game, their second lowest total of the year. But then in their final 9 games, they averaged almost 270 rushing yards per game. Coming up on the Southwest Halftime Report, Chris Rose, Jimmy Johnson, Barry Switzer, and Eddie George will have the first half analysis, followed by performances from the Florida and Oklahoma marching bands.
See if Florida tries to get some type of misdirection, crossing routes again. That's where they've been very successful, trying to work against the linebackers of Oklahoma.
Tebow will keep it. And they've really bottled him up in the run game. In fact, they have bottled up this entire Gator run game.
Done a nice job. That means the defensive line of Oklahoma is winning its battles versus the offensive line of Florida. Able to take the space, take the gaps, what people call run fits. Everyone in the right gap, in the right spot. Nowhere for Tebow to go.
3rd and 5. Intercepted. And down to the 27-yard line again, it's big Gerald McCoy.
How about the zone blitz on the touch? Watch in the middle here. He's going to back off, and then he becomes the guy. Talk about Gerald McCoy. They had 2 guys, both in the middle. Adrian Taylor, 86. Gerald McCoy, 93. The 2 defensive tackles faked the rush, dropped into zone coverage. Tim Tebow didn't read it correctly, threw it right to the defensive tackle.
Tebow has thrown as many interceptions in the game tonight as he threw through the entire season, 13 games. They're coming after Bradford, who gets rid of it to Iglesias. And that'll be a gain of 3. Clock down to 1:15 and running.
These Oklahoma receivers are answering the challenge from the Florida secondary tonight, Tom. They're being challenged, pressed, harassed as they haven't been for a long time this season. And the Oklahoma receivers are showing quite well thus far.
Bradford to the tight end Gresham. And he stays in bounds and is chopped down at the 33-yard line. Clock down to 47, and now Oklahoma will spend a timeout. 1 left for the Sooners. Our prayers certainly with that young man. An ugly injury to Chris Rainey. For more, here's Chris Myers.
He was in twisting, excruciating pain, and Dr. Pete Endelicato is taking him for x-rays. They had crutches nearby. It's a right ankle sprain. Rainey is questionable for the rest of the game.
47 seconds left until halftime. A 3rd down for Oklahoma. And it looked like forward progress on the catch by Iglesias was enough for a 1st down. They will stop the clock, move the chains, and then start the clock again.
And this is where Oklahoma's tempo helps them. They're used to playing this fast.
Bradford to a wide open receiver. Broyles, he's inside the 20, still on his feet, down to the 17-yard line. Clock will stop again.
And it should be another 1st down, shouldn't it?
Yep.
And it's another 1st down, as you said, stops the clock, conserves the timeouts for Oklahoma. Being up-tempo all the time, serving them well.
Blitz coming, and Bradford just throws it away.
One of the smarter throws. Sorry about that, partner. One of the smarter throws of the night by Sam Bradford because he understands the clock situation too. Get it out of your hands on that one. Live to fight another down. You don't need to try and scramble around and possibly take a sack and eat up time.
Anybody you like that you look for here?
Well, Iglesias is his #1 target. That's who he feels most comfortable with. But if you get a matchup with Gresham and a wide receiver, number 18, a linebacker, take that one right there if you get it.
Blitz coming again. And thrown behind the intended target, Chris Brown. Heavy pressure that time by Dunlap, who leads the Gators in sacks with 9.
Right up the middle, gut pressure against the Oklahoma offensive line. Charlie Strong, the D coordinator for Florida, is not going to sit back on very many plays all evening.
Bradford finds Gresham, and he is chopped down close to another first down. It looks like he has it at the 6. And again, they will spot the ball, 10 seconds left here, and then start the clock.
As fast as Oklahoma gets ready. So now they have to throw the ball into the end zone, Tom, on this play, or throw it away to try and conserve a field goal attempt. Brandon Spike's not in the game.
They've already been denied. Inside the 10 on 1st and goal and stopped on a 4th down carry. Iglesias isolated to the top of your screen. But Bradford not looking that way. It's batted in the air and intercepted by Major Wright. So here you have 2 quarterbacks, Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks, who have thrown a total of 8 interceptions all year, 3 tonight.
And the ball bouncing off of Manny Johnson as it was played and contested by Joe Hayden. How many other guys touched it? Black 35, 41 Stamper. Ball goes in the air. There's Black keeping it alive. Look at that, Wright finally coming up with the football. And Florida foils him again at the goal line. What would we say about offenses coming in this game?
I don't remember a thing about that.
54 and 45. What a great job by Florida on 2 different defensive stands.
We knew Florida's defense had been dynamite statistically all year. Oklahoma's defense has been mighty impressive through the first half tonight. Guys standing by in Los Angeles with the Southwest halftime show. A 7-7 game in Miami. Set to begin the second half in Miami, the FedEx BCS National Championship game. Florida and Oklahoma even at 7. And the Florida Gators will get the football to begin the second half. 2 interceptions thrown in the first half by Tim Tebow. He had thrown 2 interceptions all year. But Florida's defense twice with huge stops inside the 10 against Oklahoma. Brandon James just does avoid stepping out of bounds, fielding the kickoff, and brings it out to the 28. Let's check in downstairs with Chris Meyer.
Tommy, the good news for Florida, Percy Harvin has checked out okay and good to go the rest of the game. They're going to try and wrap the ankle of Chris Rainey. There's a chance the running back could play in the second half. But Urban Meyer said, look for 2 things. More pressure from us. We're going to blitz Bradford, and our offense needs to be in sync. We need to run inside. I asked what he liked, what he didn't like in the first half. He said, I liked our defensive stand. Other than that, I didn't like bleep.
Succinct and to the point. Now it's time for Florida's offensive line to assert itself a little bit. They talk about being a power-type running team, being physical, knocking people off the ball. They also need to protect Tim Tebow better so they can take some shots. Oklahoma winning up front right now.
Fake it to Harvin. Tebow rolls. And the catch is made by Tebow's roommate, Wiley Cooper, the junior out of Clearwater. Be a part of history as a new champion is crowned. And Fox Sports presents, for the first time ever, a live webcast of the BCS Championship game. BCS Live allows you to customize your view with 6 different camera angles. Log on right now to foxsports.com on MSN to be a part of history. Catch by Riley, good enough for a first down. Tebow on the option, he'll keep it and runs right through Nick Harris. A gain of 13, close to midfield. First time tonight, Tebow ignites the crowd.
He does it again with a physical run. We're back to 1st and 10. Florida trying to find a way to get that 8th man out of the box for Oklahoma and make them pay. The quarterback run series is a start.
Gators will play in the second half without Chris Rainey, injured in the first half. So Jeffrey Demps, the true freshman, picks up a yard on first down, stopped by Austin English.
Tom, take a look at what Florida's having to go against. Watch Nick Harris, the safety. He's going to walk up and become that extra guy in the box, which hurts you trying to run the football. See what they call run fits? Everyone takes a hole and a gap, and the tackle's made.
Tebow keeps it himself. And he's to the 46-yard line, tackled by Travis Lewis. It's hard to believe we're talking these two teams in a 7-7 game midway through the third quarter. And now every third down becomes so important.
Now Brent Venables, the defensive coordinator for Oklahoma, has to decide whether he wants to try and heat up Tim Tebow and put his corners on a little bit of an island with the speedsters of Florida. That's Hernandez, the third guy in, always a good target.
Tebow fakes the throw, carries for a first down.
Dan Mullen decides to spread out Oklahoma and go to the quarterback draw, fake it, and look at the block right there by number 56, Marquise Pouncey, the center. That was the key block of the play. Able to move him out of the way and clear a path for his quarterback.
A gain of 15 by Tebow. 1st and 10 at the Oklahoma 31.
It's a good time to take a shot if you're Florida on first down. They've been running the ball consistently on that down.
They're going to throw it. Tebow looking for Murphy in the end zone, off the fingertips. They must have heard you, Mr. Davis.
And Lewis Murphy down at the end of the play. Not a sight Florida wants to see.
He already has an injured left knee.
And that looked to be the knee he was grabbing. Just outstretched as Lindy Holmes tries to cover at the end, but it was a great call by Dan Mullen, the offensive coordinator, soon to be the head coach at Mississippi State.
A 7-7 game at the FedEx BCS National Championship. At Florida on 2nd and 10 at the Oklahoma 31. Tebow works from the shotgun.
Percy Harvin into the boundary, bottom of your screen.
Tebow down the middle for Harvin and broken up nicely by Brian Jackson.
There's the national championship winning quarterback for Florida, the starter. When we saw them in Glendale, Arizona, beat Ohio State, Chris Leak, the MVP of that game. And here's the successor who won a Heisman Trophy as a first-year starter at the University of Florida, Tim Tebow. Big 3rd and long situation.
Tebow will run it. Needs to get to the 21. He does, and then some to the 19. Wow. Desire, power.
What did we say at the top of the show, Tom? He runs it, he throws it, he wills his team on. And that was desire and will on that run with a great cutback inside of Travis Lewis, the leading tackler for Oklahoma. You know, they gained the first down, but they gained the passion too. Crowd into it. Tebow juiced up. Florida trying to pay off this drive. Oklahoma may have to think about getting after him a little bit here.
Tebow on the option, he'll keep it. And picks up solid yardage down to the 12-yard line. Second and short for the Gators.
They get Lindy Holmes, the safety. Keenan Clayton, who's a linebacker hybrid strong safety. Frank Alexander, defensive end, and Adrian Taylor inside, the leading tacklers. But I'm getting the sense here, Tom, that Dan Mullen now wants the ball in Tim Tebow's hands as much as possible.
Wouldn't you?
Oh, of course.
Option again. And again, Tebow waits to the last second to Demps. And that'll be a face mask. Demps is down to the 2. And then the flag came in. It looked like somebody got a piece of his face mask.
First flag. Defense. Half the distance to the goal.
Watch. There's Hernandez, 81, inside. Then there's Demps outside, number 2, catching the football. And then there's the face mask by Nick Harris, number 5. The obvious pull and twist, which leads to the flag. It looks like, is that Percy Harvin, Wildcat?
Yep. Harvin will take the snap and tries to bring it in and finds the end zone. As close to a smile as we're going to get from Urban Meyer. Jonathan Phillips for the point after. 14-7, Florida jumps in front in the third.
Look at this, just zone blocking to the right side. Demps helps out, but Harvin finds the crease and powers in. We met this young man the other day, and he looks like a speedster, but the gun's on him, right? The pipes. He's a 405-pound bencher, works out very hard in the weight room, and he ran that play with a lot of power. Great job. And I actually asked the Florida coach, what do you call that formation? You know, everybody's got a wild cat and a wild hog. And they said, Percy, take the snap. We don't have a name for it. But we do know what the end result, don't we? Touchdown, Florida.
Sturgis puts a foot on it. This is Joaquin Iglesias from the 7. Great coverage by the Gators, and Iglesias able to tiptoe along the sideline. And here are those words from Tebow after the loss to Ole Miss.
I'm sorry, extremely sorry. You know, we're hoping for an undefeated season. That was my goal. Something Florida's never done here. But I promise you one thing, a lot of good will come out of this. You have never seen any player in the entire country play as hard as I will play the rest of the season, and you never see someone push the rest of the team as hard as I will push everybody the rest of the season. And you never see a team play harder than we will the rest of the season. God bless.
Now it's Sam Bradford's turn to rally his team.
First down. They fake the handoff, and Bradford caught from behind by Dunlap. And then Dustin Doe finished him up high.
When we talked to Charlie Strong at the meeting, who did he indicate to us, Tom, would have a big game? This guy, number 8, Carlos Dunlap. He says this is his type of a game. Speed rusher, going after the quarterback. He's been wreaking havoc as the game has worn on.
Drop back into coverage on second down and 14. And the catch is good for a first down out to midfield to the senior Quentin Chaney. Chaney in the Fiesta Bowl a season ago, 129 receiving yards.
I think Charlie Strong and his defensive staff will file that snap away. Had him on the run, and here's a quick snap by Oklahoma.
A wide open receiver. Iglesias breaks a tackle. Still on his feet. Spun out of bounds at the 35. That's another first down.
And an extra 10 yards after the catch by breaking the initial tackle. But I think Florida backing off and giving Bradford time. Deadly when he throws the football. And Trent Williams, number 71, their starting tackle, comes off the field for Oklahoma.
They hand it off to Brown, who slips a tackle. And he's down to the 32-yard line. That'll be a gain of 5 for Brown, who's closing in on 100 yards. Now 94 rushing yards in the game.
Brandon Braxton, number 76, now in the game at right tackle for Oklahoma, and the pace quickens for the OU offense. You can't relax for a second against them.
Wide receiver screen, and very close to a first down. It's the redshirt freshman Ryan Broyles. Third down and a yard for the Sooners. Clapp leads the way in the I formation, and drop for a loss is Brown. Ryan Stamper.
The penetration, watch up front. Stamper, number 41, the first guy there, takes on the block, slips it inside, and throws Chris Brown for a loss.
Well, they initially sent out the field goal team. Then Bradford stayed out there as if they were going on fourth down. And now it will be a field goal try. 39-yard line, so a 49-yard attempt. The season long for Jimmy Stevens is 42. Good snap, good hold, and it's blocked. The 9th blocked kick of the year for the Gators.
Tom, as often happens on a long field goal attempt, the field goal kicker's got to drive it. He ends up kicking it low because you see where it was blocked in the middle. Was that Dunlap number 8? Hard to see the number, but it looks like Dunlap number 8 is the guy who got into the middle and batted it back. Yes, right there, Lawrence Marsh, number 90, also there, but I think Dunlap will get credit for it, but it was kicked low to begin with.
And if it was Dunlap, that's his 3rd block kick this season. He had 2 in 1 game against Vanderbilt. Tebow on first down. Picked up a couple of yards. Tom, here with 1:20 left in the 3rd quarter, Oklahoma still sitting on 7.
And there's no bigger defensive stand than right now for Oklahoma in this game.
Second down, they give it to Harbin. And coming down the line of scrimmage to wrap him up and throw him to the deck is Adrian Taylor. Under a minute to play in the 3rd. And you talked about how important this defensive stand series is for Oklahoma. This is a 3rd down, and we'll call it 4. Pretty good numbers on 3rd down for the Gators. And this is 3rd down.
Empties out. Quarterback draw is always a fun one for them.
Tebow chased, caught from behind by Beal, and the Gators will have to punt it. Jeremy Beal led the Sooners in sacks this season as well as tackles for loss, and comes up with a big play right there on 3rd down.
Can't underestimate how big a play that was by Jeremy Beal. Everything had shifted to Florida's side. Scored, blocked the kick, had the ball. Oklahoma will get it back now.
So the punt will take place when we begin the 4th quarter. 15 minutes to play for Miami in the FedEx BCS National Championship. Oklahoma trails Florida 14-7. Mentioned earlier, Urban Meyer and Bob Stoops grew up less than an hour away from one another. And here they are on opposite fields. Their universities meeting on the gridiron for the first time ever. A 7-point spread, 15 minutes to go in the FedEx BCS National Championship game. A booming punt by Henry. Fielded by Broyles. A real nice return out to the 23-yard line. Oklahoma's offense had scored 60 or more points in 5 consecutive games coming into this championship. And here they are beginning the fourth quarter with just 7 on the board. Well, the fourth quarter is underway in Miami. With Charles Davis, Chris Myers, our entire Fox crew, great to have you with us. We will crown a champion of college football tonight. Number 2 Florida leads number 1 Oklahoma by 7. Second down and a yard, and Brown has a first down to the 35.
Notice Duke Robinson not in the lineup at left guard. Brian Simmons, number 74, in his stead for Oklahoma.
Well, after the penalty, Bradford at the 47 lays it off for Brown out of the backfield. And a big gainer inside the 25 down to the 21-yard line. Major Wright running Brown out of bounds. That'll be a gain of 25.
Love the call by Kevin Wilson, the offensive coordinator. He sees man-to-man coverage from Florida's corners, isolates the running back against a linebacker swinging out of the backfield, and you end up with a big play.
There's a lot of jawing going along that offensive line. I mean, guys yelling and screaming at each other.
I know there's passion and intensity and a will to win. Focus on the task, both teams. Don't cost your team at this stage of the game. Both teams pride themselves on big plays. Probably both well, not probably, they're both well below their average in this game.
Brown, one out of bounds by Spike to the 20. That'll be a gain of 2.
Took a look at the play call. Kevin Wilson, top left box, making the play call. Signal, top right box. 3 guys, 1 guy live. Bradford gets it, initiates the play.
Bradford hit as he throws. And he took a major shot from Brandon Hicks coming off the outside from a linebacking position.
Remember early in the game, Oklahoma was able to isolate Jermaine Gresham, their tight end number 18 on linebackers of Florida. Now they're utilizing a secondary guy to cover Jermaine Gresham, number 10, Will Hill.
Third down and 8. They're coming after Bradford. He gets it away. Gresham has a first down to the 11-yard line. That's the man you figured they'd be looking for. He got locked up in coverage with Major Wright.
He's your best match, whether it's a linebacker left of your screen, number 18, whether it's a linebacker or a secondary guy, and Major Wright isn't their best cover guy. Better in run support.
There's Gresham, and he's into the end zone. He lost his shoe after losing a defender. And now for the all-important Point after. You don't have to tell the Gators about that. They had a blocked PAT in their 1-point loss to Ole Miss. Tie game. Well, well, well. 12-13 to go, boys and girls, and we are tied for the FedEx National Championship. Here's a kickoff, and this is Brandon James, who's never returned a kickoff for a touchdown, and great kickoff coverage. A major weakness for the Sooners all year long, and it's been mighty good tonight. College football alive and well.
And how about the momentum swings in this game? For a while, Old Mo was riding with Florida. Now, jumping into a crimson jersey.
Harvin on first down in the open field. And along the sideline, this is Percy Harvin to the 40, the 30, all the way down to the 27. "52 yards for Harvin, who on 6 carries has 105 rushing yards.
Great job with the blocking coming back. Great job, Riley Cooper, number 11, blocking downfield. You know what I've discovered, Tom? Old Mo is not someone you want to date. Old Mo is awfully fickle.
You're talking about Old Mo momentum, one of the great front runners.
One of the great front runners of all time, and not really ready to declare a winner, is it?
Harvin will get it again and again with room to run to the 15. Well, we wondered if Harvin, how effective he will be, as he's not yet gotten up. And here he is tonight, 7 carries, 118 yards, 4 receptions for another 45 yards. And basically what you're seeing from Harvin tonight is what opponents have seen during his 3 seasons in Gainesville. Tim Tebow on first down will give it to Dents, and he couldn't turn the corner. Did this look like a dirty play by the tackler Nick Harris or not?
Excellent tackle, and then at the end, play's done, you just leave it alone. I mean, at that point, you just get up, unhook your hands and leave it alone. Whether or not Percy Harvin was hurt by that or was he hurt before, the problem is the impression is left by Nick Harris that you did something to Percy Harvin. You know, just let it go. Get up, play's done.
Second down at the 10. Tebow looking down the field, being chased, and just throws it away. He was taken to the deck by Frank Alexander. So third down for the Gators at the 11.
And the hard part for Brent Venables is trying to decide how to chess match with Florida because of their ability to have the quarterback run game with Tebow and the option ability. We've also seen the shovel pass to Aaron Hernandez. So if you max blitz him against those types of plays, it's tough.
Lewis Murphy has come back on. We saw him leave. Percy Harvin is back in on 3rd and 6.
Harvin in the slot to the top of your screen.
Empty backfield. Tebow looking around, still looking, being chased, not sure what happened there, and he just throws it away.
Did it seem like he thought there was a whistle blown? See, he's signaling right now. He tucked the ball like he thought the play was dead. And the officials are not indicating that at all. And we're going to have a field goal attempt by Florida.
There may have been a whistle that came from the stands, perhaps. All right, 14-14 game, 10:48 to play. Looks like they're going to kick this one from the 18, so a 28-yard field goal try for Jonathan Phillips. Had only 3 field goal attempts in the last 8 games of the year. From the left hash, it is good. 10:45 to go. Florida 17, Oklahoma 14. 10:45 to play in regulation in this FedEx BCS National Championship game. Second-ranked Florida leading #1 Oklahoma. And this is Iglesias out to the 35-yard line. They just do get it off. Lofted down the sideline, incomplete. Let's check in downstairs with Chris Myers.
Well, they called on low-key Sam Bradford in the first half when his offensive line had penalties. He made sure he came over and said, don't sweat it. On the 4th down failed attempt, he told the running back to hang in there. He was encouraging to the defense after that last drive. He may be soft-spoken, but when it's time to speak up, he speaks up and steps up.
2nd and 10. Bradford, great protection. Finds Brown out of the backfield, and that's a first down reception to the 47-yard line. Brown has had an outstanding game tonight.
He has. He's done it with his feet, doing it. He's done it catching the football. And Chris Myers made the point about Sam Bradford's style of leadership, different than Tim Tebow's, but no less effective.
Brown continues to break tackles until he ran in to Brandon Spikes, crossing midfield or right at midfield, a gain of 3.
It's a big down here for the Florida defense if they want to try and put pressure on Bradford, because he can still run the ball here on 2nd and 7.
Nadeau checks in for Brown. Blitz coming. And Bradford down the middle of the field. Was it intercepted or just broken up? They're saying intercepted by Ahmad Black. Six interceptions this year for Black. That's number 7.
Not since the TCU game, I believe, has Oklahoma faced a secondary that challenges you on every single snap, every single route you run.
Black just took it away. Well, Tim Tebow on first down, beginning to drive at his own 24-yard line. The Sooners need a stop. Tebow runs the option. Little shovel pass to Aaron Hernandez, and he's out to the 37-yard line. That is a first down for Florida.
One of their favorite plays and one of their staples, because it gives you multiple options. Tebow either can pitch it to Harvin 1 or shovel it inside to Aaron Hernandez, a play that worked for a touchdown in the SEC championship game against Alabama. Very tough to defend. That's a different version of the triple option.
Handed to Demps. And he's tripped up at the line of scrimmage and picks up maybe 2.
Obviously, Florida looking to possess the ball, looking to go down and score. But at worst, 2 first downs gives them an opportunity to change field position and assist their defense. They picked up 1 so far, trying to get that second one and then go from there.
They rush 3 and play some coverage. Tebow looking down the field and throws. It is caught. And that is a first down to his roommate, Riley Cooper, to the 49-yard line. A gain of 16 on 3rd and 12, and the clock will start to run once they spot it. Down to 7.5 to go.
How many times have you heard someone question the accuracy of the young man playing quarterback for Florida? Often, correct? And how many times have you seen him put it where it needs to be put in a key situation?
Yeah, when it needs to be put there, you got it. Harvin lost his footing. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down. 7 minutes to play in Miami. The Florida Gators looking for their 2nd national championship under Urban Meyer, their 3rd in school history, trying to deny Bob Stoops his 2nd national championship and what would be an 8th in OU history.
Good first down for the Oklahoma defense. They won it. 2nd and long now. They have the advantage. They have to press it.
Tebow looking down the field, and the catch is made first of the night by David Nelson to the 20.
This is a big league throw. Fakes the run, steps back, excellent protection, and on a line over the linebacker, Balogun, number 10, and in front of the defensive back, the safety Harris, and Nelson using his body to create a wall in front of the DB and haul it in.
Tebow hands it to Harbin, and he slips a couple of tackles down to the 15. Bob Stoops urging his team, trying to will his team to, at the minimum, obviously, you know, you're thinking field goal. I mean, very minimum, you force a turnover. Right. But after that, you'd settle for a field goal and give your offense a final shot.
Because the field goal right now is almost conceded by where they are in the field of play in terms of being in range. You can't let them get in the end zone because you're battling clock now, too, at 5:30 and counting.
Harbin touches it again. And he is short of the first down. They weren't sure how many plays they were going to get out of Harbin tonight. By our mark, he's been in there for 49 plays in the game.
I think he's shown a lot of heart.
No doubt.
We watched him run around in practice a couple of days ago. We weren't firmly convinced that he would be 100% for this game.
Tebow on the option. Inside shovel pass. Hernandez down to the 6. First and goal, Gators.
And this is what holds a defense at bay. You can't really attack if they have an option attack. And if Florida has an option, they have it two ways. The regular style to the trail back. Also inside shovel to the tight end, and another huge first down for the Gators. Bob Stoops showing the frustration and eyeing the clock at 4 minutes and counting.
West shut it down now for the Gators. First and goal. James in motion. Tebow on the keeper. Is inside the 5 and down to the 4.
And he gained additional yardage after initial contact, didn't he? I mean, it just seemed like the play should have been over, and the pile kept moving. That big body taking people inside the 5-yard line.
Of course, Oklahoma, only one win in their last 5 bowl games. They've lost 4 consecutive BCS games, including 2 national championship games. 03 Sugar Bowl to LSU, 04 Orange Bowl to SC. Estepinen checks in as an extra blocker, number 93. Lofted to the end zone. Touchdown, Nelson. And Superman strikes again. Buildups the point after. This one not over yet. 10-point game, 3:07 to play.
And watch it, but what makes this play possible is the running ability all game long of Tim Tebow. But we've seen this jump pass over the years, and it's usually been wide open. In this case, it was defended well, but it was well thrown. And David Nelson, how about this guy jumping up and becoming a player as a junior? 10 catches on the year, a couple of big ones on that drive, including the touchdown catch that puts Florida up by 10.
I just don't think you really can talk enough. And you and I, Charles, had a chance to be around this young man, having never had the opportunity to meet him. You have, I haven't. All the things you hear about him from so many people and none of them do him justice until you meet him in person.
It is incredible, isn't it?
He's an amazing kid, 21 years old. To think what most of us were doing at 21, the places he's been, the things he's done, extraordinary. Joaquin Iglesias out across the 30-yard line. Knocked down by Tretteau. And that's what we just said.
Look at that. They can get it done. But right now, I think Charlie Strong is going to put it on the defensive front of Florida. 3- and 4-man rush, drop everyone else into coverage, try and make Oklahoma go the long way and eat up clock.
Set up the screen to the tight end Gresham, and he's chopped down to the 35. Clock continues to roll. Down to 2:45 and a third down upcoming for the Sooners. You can't say enough about what this Gator defense has done tonight.
Been tremendous. The 2 goal line stands in the first half have positioned Florida to be where they are right now.
Incomplete, and there's no debate. Oklahoma has to go for it here. Trailing by 10 with 2:30 left in the game.
Yeah, you can't punt the ball away here and expect to get it back and have an opportunity. Now Charlie Strong has a decision to make. Do you try and get it done right now? Maybe a little extra pressure on Bradford and play man, or you drop back.
Knowing Florida, they're coming to get him.
Here comes Brandon Spikes on the edge. That's him.
Sophomore out of Fort Washington, Maryland, who said a week before this game, they've never faced our defense. How prophetic he has turned out to be.
We talked about it early in the game that Florida would challenge Oklahoma's receivers on every play. For a while, Oklahoma's receivers were doing a very nice job. But as the game moved on, the defense tightened and tightened. And there's your end result.
We talked to Tim's father the other day in practice. Yep. Of course, Tebow, the youngest of 5 children to Bob and Pam Tebow. Tim was homeschooled but able to play football at a public high school because of a Florida state law. His family sold everything they had to start mission work in the Philippines. In fact, that's where Tim Tebow was born.
And where a number of kids are named after him.
Yep.
Remember, he has not turned the ball over by fumble in what, 300+ touches now since Ole Miss, I believe it was. Who do you think they want to carry the football and hold on to it down the stretch?
Final timeout spent by Oklahoma. Look at those numbers for Tebow. Granted, the 2 interceptions. We mentioned he'd only thrown 2 all year long.
He threw 2 for the season, 2 tonight. But the way that he bounced back, you know, it's just the way that he bounced back. And the comment by Dominique Franks, obviously, one the coaches from Oklahoma wishes that he did not say. But I don't believe for a second it wasn't something he heard within the confines of his own locker room.
Now to the 30-yard line.
I think now they don't have to run another play other than kneeling. You know, they can take the ball, snap it, kneel, and call it square. I don't think you have to run anyone anymore. You definitely don't want to run Tim Tebow anymore. Because right now, all the Florida fans are saying, one more year, Tim. One more year. And does that give him 100 yards rushing on the night?
Sure does. 100 on the nose. Steve Spurrier won a national championship with Bob Stoops as his defensive coordinator with the Florida Gators in 1996. And then 10 years later, under Urban Meyer, the Gators won their second national championship. And tonight, Urban Meyer will celebrate the third national championship for the University of Florida.
You know, when you look at Bob Stoops' team, as you see Urban Meyer now getting ready to get the celebrate, he knows it's coming. Oh no, what are you guys doing to me? But it never felt so good.
Tebow takes a knee, and that is that. Congratulations to the University of Florida Gators, who have won the school's third National Football Championship. And really, Charles, you begin the conversation now when you talk about greatest players in the history of college football. Tim Tebow, a pair of national championships, a Heisman Trophy award in 3 years. He is unquestionably in that top 10, perhaps now in the top 5.
And I believe he'll be back next year to burnish his legend.
Knock off Oklahoma and our crowned national champion. Oh, and it's time for the trophy presentation. Let's go downstairs to Chris Myers.
The two best teams in the country put on a great show in the FedEx BCS National Championship game, and your Florida Gators are the #1 team in the country and the BCS National Champions. Gator Nation celebrates. Fox, FedEx, and the BCS proud to present the trophy to the champion. Representing John Swafford, the commissioner Tom Hansen from the Pac-10 will present the official championship coaches trophy to Urban Meyer. You want to hang on to that, or are you going to hold it? All right, you got that, Coach?
First, on behalf of the BCS conferences and institutions, I'd like to congratulate both Oklahoma and Florida for their outstanding seasons and exciting game this evening. And now, on behalf of the American Football Coaches Association, it is my privilege to present the National Championship Coaches Trophy to Urban Meyer and the Florida Gators.
You want to lift it up? Give it to it? You can lift that. Go ahead, Urban. It'll come out of there. All right, there you go. That's Coach. Congratulations. Let's talk about this game. Excuse me, gentlemen. There'll be plenty of time to celebrate. How tough was this one?
Well, this is we played a great team in Oklahoma. I want to thank Danny Potts and Eric Palms for a great week here in Miami. And most of all, I want to thank our players. This is one of the best teams in college football history. I love these guys. They overcome a lot of injuries, and I love these guys.
How does this compare to the first championship when you had the underdog role? Here you were kind of the favorite, I guess, going in.
Oh, it never gets old, I promise you that. At Florida, a great institution like Florida, you should be able to compete for championships, but these guys overcame a lot, and I'm awful proud of them.
You talked about special teams being important, how playing a physical game. That's one of the best offenses in the history of the game, and you had a great defensive stand right before the half. Obviously, the fourth down, the interception, kept them out of the end zone when you needed to.
Yeah, I think the turnovers were the difference. We had turnovers down deep in our own territory, and in the third quarter when they were starting to drive, Ahmad Black made a great play. Oklahoma's a great team. And so are the Gators.
And I know you said you think we'll see a playoff at some point in college football. Does anybody have an argument about, hey, we should be up there with Florida for #1?
I'll tell you, we're going to enjoy a big win. We're going to enjoy being in the national championship. Let someone else worry about that. Gators are #1.
Right. Congratulations. Tom, let's go back upstairs to you.
We thank Urban Meyer, Carlos Dunlap, Tim Tebow, both SIDs, both universities, for all of their help and preparation for this championship game. The guys are standing by in the studio. Right after this timeout, Florida wins the FedEx BCS National Championship.